Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Living Facebook Live. We are here at Johnny's Restaurant in Birmingham, Alabama, which is right down the street from our headquarters. It's a very classic, very delicious, Greek-driven, Southern food-driven meat and three. Clearly, right? This is Chef Tim Hanses. He's an old friend of mine, great chef, the owner of this amazing place where they have. It's an old school meat and three, very chef driven. All the vegetables and meats are farm to table, all sustainable.
You know what a meat and free is? Could you
Restaurant in the South that's been around for a very long time that, you know, where industrial workers used to come for food to stick to your bones, to stay with you, to carry you throughout the day, where you have a variety, where they knew that the meats were sourced out locally, they knew the vegetables were sourced out locally. And it's just a classic Southern dish. It's something that you would get at your mother's table after church or something, where she lets the pot roast roll while y'all are gone, and you know there's going to be crowder peas and field peas when you get home, and it's just the type of food that brings people all together.
Exactly. You're going to get like a meat and three vegetables. It's the most common thing to sustain you through these long work days. So, flash forward to now. The meat and three has become kind of a bit of a thing now. There's a lot of people doing it. Tim's family owns Nicky's West, which is a legendary soda. I see you smiling over there. You've been to Nicky's, right? Which is a fantastic place. Pete and Teddy have owned there. They've worked there since they were 9 years old.
Absolutely.
And
Their kids work there now. It's in the family, and it's going to stay in the family. So
it's a legendary place for fresh meats and vegetables. Now, Tim does something a little different. His stuff is a little more, I think, chef-driven, a little more technique-driven, and he mixes in more classic Greek items, like this dish we're going to make today that I can't say. It's called, we're making Greek meatballs, right?
go ahead and try to say it.
Okay, it's keftere.
No.
Well,
How many times have I told you? The D is a TH in Greek. Keftere.
No, all right,
Keftere.
Facebook Live, does anyone understand that a D is a TH in Greek? Does anybody out there
It's a Greek dish, so we're going to treat it as though it's Greek.
Kef,
Te.
ves.
Close enough. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Oh, okay, no, what I got it. It's on it. Keftere.
Close enough again.
It's not like I
We'll
have a
take it.
lisp or something. Or I'm missing my front teeth, like my kid said. He lost his front teeth. Okay, so
We try to take Southern ingredients and give them a facelift. Having a fine dining background, having worked with Robbie, that is the type of cuisine where I cut my teeth. Besides being raised in my papa's restaurant, hearing the clattering of the pans, the yelling, but having the fine dining background, I wanted to give this restaurant and this food a facelift, if you will. And that's what we've done with certain vegetables. You have the classic, you have the pot roast, you have the meatloaf, even though our meatloaf is different, 26 ingredients. The pot roast rolls 15 hours at
it's
225
unbelievable
degrees.
the amount of care that goes into this cuisine. But I want to back up something you said a second. You mentioned you grew up in your papa's restaurant. That's your grandfather, correct?
Johnny.
Is the namesake of your restaurant.
Same logo, same font, everything in homage to him. We even still do some of his dishes, frog legs occasionally, mackerel, a little bit of everything that he's doing, you know. So, but our food speaks of who we are, you know. It's a classic Southern restaurant, but without forgetting our Greek roots. And so in turn, you will see certain Greek dishes segue on and off the menu. The beauty of the way I set it up is chalkboards, so we want to do something different, or say garote Greek cheesecake with pomegranate molasses doesn't sell, we take it off. You know, spanakopita, the spinach pie is on the menu. If it doesn't sell, we take it off. But they move throughout the menu along with the usual suspects of crowders and turnips and collards and squash casserole, you know.
Now, one thing that has impressed me the most, besides the delicious food, is the sourcing of it. And if you guys have not just now tuning into us, we're at Johnny's Restaurant in Birmingham, Alabama, talking to Tim Hanses about classic Southern food, meat and three, with a very classic Greek dish we're going to make to go with this great food. So, Ham, your farmer, sources all this stuff himself, right?
Dwight Ham is my farmer. He has 50 acres in Coleman, 50 acres in Hanceville, Alabama. He brings us everything, no pesticides, everything.
Let's check out the okra real quick. just to give you guys some perspective on how much care goes into this, all of Tim's okra is hand-picked to be very uniform in size, because this is the best southern tender okra right here. It's amazing. Everything is handcrafted, from the Alabama dirt to it gets here and hits the fryer, this light breadcrumb crusting. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. But we're going to serve this up here with keftedes, or keftedes, a Greek meatball. Now let's talk about this, because I think these are delicious. If these are on the menu here at Johnny's, I come in here, I'm going to get it, because it has so much flavor. It's more than just a meatball. We got some of the ingredients for it right here. We're going to talk about what sets these apart and what makes them Greek, if you will.
Well, let's talk about the fact that, you know, again, a twist on something that's traditional.
Yeah.
My mother, I watched her in the kitchen, and this will tie in the southern again.
Sure.
Braised in a tomato gravy is the keftedes are normally slow simmered in this thick tomato sauce. Here, which we're about to go into, we do them a completely different way. We have ground beef, we have ground pork, Hereford beef, Duroc pork, caramelized onions and garlic.
Now this is probably one of the key items here,
Absolutely.
right?
This is our spice blend, which is our Greek seasoning.
Cavender's, right?
Bullshit. Never.
Okay.
Absolute crap.
Don't say Cavender's.
Exactly.
All right.
No MSG. So I can't believe you even said that.
I had to.
I have to go have a moment for just a second. So, all right. So our Greek seasoning, which consists of dry thyme, oregano, garlic. What else is in there, Armani? You don't remember because you're looking at some chick on Snapchat or something.
Okay.
Dried mint, I feel in this app, or I don't feel, I know in this application it is a lot better than fresh mint, believe it or not. The dry mint is long.
I can see that.
It comes from Penzies.
It kind of permeates throughout.
And it comes from Penzies, so you know that the quality, the freshness is going to be there. Sumac. This is one of the key differences. Sumac is a berry.
That's the red, right?
Absolutely. It's a berry from the Middle East, which has the lemon undertones. I guess you can maybe make a correlation a little bit to tamarind, but it makes the dish to me pop.
No, sure. No,
And
I believe that.
Egg.
The binder right here, or one of the binders.
Absolutely. And Ritz crackers. We don't use breadcrumbs. We use Ritz crackers because I love that buttery undertone that you get in that. So
now this is a process. You make this in 10-pound batches, right?
15-pound batches.
15-pound batches.
We have to stay ahead.
We don't have time for that today on Facebook Live. What we are going to do is we talked about this, and I want to show you the finished product here. Now this is what goes down into your big mixer. You're mixing all these with care, not overdoing it. Because you can see here that this meat it's not overdone really, right?
No, it's not overworked. Because we want the fat content to stay in.
Right.
And what the process with it is, the meat goes in, it's 2-to-1 beef to pork.
Right.
Yes, you can use lamb if you'd like to. Sometimes we do, but for food cost purposes, we use beef, 2-to-1 pork. But I love the pork because it lends the fat content.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to help bring it on.
Absolutely. And so
you don't. I went into it with my hands. You guys obviously control the portions of this,
Sure.
right? So why don't you show me what a Johnny's portion of a keftedes would be? I think I got it right.
All right. So
Everybody out there watching on Facebook Live, say it. Keftedes.
Still not right.
Still not right. All right.
So, and you can smell the mint and
You
the
really can.
garlic
All of it.
in
And I
here.
get it with the dry mint. I can see where after this long cook time,
Sure.
as these juices start to move and circulate through there, that really opens up. It just gets bigger and bigger.
And
right?
this has to set up overnight to
big.
absorb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wash my hands. It has to set up overnight to absorb. And then, but the way that we do it is that the meat goes in, it's incorporated.
Right.
Then the onions and the garlic go in, it's
Right.
incorporated. A little bit of the spice, incorporate again.
Right.
A little bit of little bit more spice. Then in with the eggs, and then as you know, we have to do them one by one, slowly drizzling them in.
So this is like an enormous amount of love goes into this. Just in the onions and garlic alone, that's perfectly caramelized, very slowly to get the golden brown, leaching out all of that natural sugars, all the great flavors. This is not something you can just sort of like hastily roll into, right?
No,
really got to show some love, which I
That's-
think is a testament to what you do here anyway.
Well, and everything.
From the smallest thing to the biggest project.
And these guys will tell you. I mean, it's a lot of love, a lot of work in it. It's a 2-day process, just like our squash casserole. We have to caramelize the onions, let them cool. The next day, we have to steam all the squash, tip it, get it steamed, get it cool. Then we come back the next day with it, mix in Swiss cheese, never ever any mayonnaise or sour cream or any crap like that.
Really?
You know, and
No
so-
Dukes?
No, okay, we love Dukes, but there's no Dukes in there, all right? But there again, the egg is the binder and a little bit of rice. But there again, a difference, the Swiss cheese in there.
Yeah.
And on the top, Ritz crackers again for the buttering agent, and
It's
Parmesan cheese as well.
delicious. I kind of want some of that now. I'm gonna wash up. What's next on this step?
We're going to take these and we're going to roll them in a little bit of our seasoned flour.
What do you season it with? Salt, pepper?
We have garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of toasted black peppercorns in here.
So what I like to call things like this is you got all these different, layers of flavor
Absolutely.
that are obviously very well thought out to work in balance with each other. Because I've had so many times, like a meatball, for instance, sometimes it can be like a dumping ground for a lot of different things. You get too many things going on in there, and they sort of work against each other.
Absolutely.
And what I'm seeing here is that all of this stuff is really working together to give you a well-balanced, delicious, and I think an assertively Greek or Mediterranean style meatball, right?
Yes.
All right, so now we brown these up. Okay, I'm gonna come over here and brown a couple of these up.
Set this over.
If you're just tuning in, we're at Johnny's Restaurant in Homewood, Alabama. Working with Chef Tim Hansis, the chef owner, proprietor, the brains behind this operation. Or is it one of these guys that are really probably the brains behind it? But we're making keftedes, a very classic. I did it right, didn't I?
We'll take it close enough.
A very classic Greek dish.
Zitoilas.
Greek meatball that we're going to pair with some very classic southern mainstays, fried okra, a fried grit cake, turnip greens. So, again, we talked about how you work so hard for days, come on back, to really achieve this great flavor of these things. And now we're going to brown up in a pan to caramelize it, correct?
Yeah, we just want to brown up the flour, and then we're going to, again, do them a lot differently. Check it. Sure. That's hot enough.
Yeah, at home, just stick your finger right in that oil, and you'll know real quick if it's hot enough.
When you've done this 28 years, you won't feel that on
That's
your
right.
finger anymore.
All right, I'm going to go in. That's the
Yes, so
sound
just
that we want to
roll
hear,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Should I do one or two at a time? I don't want to crowd the pan.
Let's just do 2, and that'll be fine, don't you think?
Yeah, it's perfect.
So here we have, again, not to be repetitious, as my mother used to do them in a tomato gravy and slow simmer them. We take this brown product and then take them into what the Greeks call zoumi, which is sauce, which is tomato chicken stock, lemon juice, and some more of our Greek
Same thing as like a chicken broth, chicken stock, all made from scratch.
Sure, a lemon chicken broth.
Lemon chicken broth. Anything different going there besides?
No, not so much, because we're going to poach these off. It imparts the moistness in them, keeps them moist, and
This is beautiful. It's browning up. So this caramelization, obviously, yet another layer of flavor that's going into these keftedes.
so usually
Greek
we'll
meatballs.
oil the whole flat top and just roll them out on there. And just roll them and roll them.
And you cook it in these zoumi to just maintain that extra bit of moisture, or is that obviously adding more flavor too, right?
It is. It infuses it, but at the same time, I mean, it's the cooking process, because clearly this is not going to cook all the way through.
Right.
What we do is we
You're just
brown
getting
these off.
more flavor.
Sure. We brown these off. We're almost there.
That looks amazing.
We'll shut
So-
this off.
And again, what I love about this is just the amount of time and care that's going into just creating all of this flavor. And you're going to go right in, and then this will bake in the oven, or will
This
sort of
will
braise in a
Yeah,
way?
absolutely. This will bake. We
Slow
open the
cook?
oven for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
We have a question for you, Tim.
All right, talk to me. Festival, tell me.
How far in advance can these meatballs be made?
2 to 3 days at the most. But once those are made, if you go 2 to 3 days, they need to be cooked immediately.
So this is 2 to 3 days from this state here, the cooked, or you make them?
You can make the mix and they can sit, I would say, 2 to 3 days. 3 days at the max. But once they're cooked, you know, again, 2 to 3 days. I wouldn't like for it to go that long, but
Now, we've got our keftedes in the oven. They're cooking. We've got some right here.
35 minutes.
35 minutes.
325 degrees, preheated oven.
Now,
For the love of Peter, please preheat your oven. Don't just turn your oven on and throw food in there. It's not going to cook evenly.
It's not going to be good.
Absolutely.
It's going to make you very angry when your guys do that here.
Oh my gosh. Or if they put it in there and just go off and leave it and forget to cut the oven on at all. Let's not forget that. If we want to keep this happy and laughing, let's go talk
Which one
about
of
it.
these Malakas does that?
Oh, well, let's just say all
That's
of
like
them.
calling out the kitchen crew on Facebook Live.
Right.
It keeps them honest. It happened to me when I was, young and trying to figure it out. I'm sure it happened to you. And
Of course.
you work for John Currents.
Oh, yes. Saute
Snack
pans
if-
flying past my
Zach,
head.
if you're watching out there, and you should be, because you're always on Instagram,
Yeah, no shit.
and so you know about this because we advertise on there. You're always on Facebook too. You should say hey to Johnny Snack. Keep it clean.
What up, JC?
So we've got the keftedes right here. Now, when you make these, you're making like hundreds of these at a time.
Sure.
So, oh wow. You can see here, if you're gonna get a shot of this, that zoom is almost so clear.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have
No.
gotten kind of fatty because of the meatballs. But I guess
There's a
you're-
little bit of a fat layer on top. Just a little bit, not much, but there. And
Look
then
at
that's,
that.
yeah.
Oh man.
Wait till we cut it.
I mean, it is like so tender. It smells amazing.
You can smell the mint.
Yeah, you
and
totally
the
can.
mint and the garlic and
The
the
thing
onions.
of this is amazing is everything that was mentioned in this spice rub. I mean, I can smell it.
Sure,
It's coming through. And to me, I very clearly can smell the beef, the pork, the sumac, which I think is especially interesting.
Absolutely.
So-
Again, I like to, if I make them at home, I like to use lamb.
I'm gonna
But
put
there's
these on
nothing,
the plate.
absolutely, there's nothing wrong with
Now,
it.
would you serve these like in a bowl with some of this
We'll,
zuni?
no, we'll
or-
serve it right here. This is what we will serve with them. Is
Let's talk about this now, because I come here a lot, and I always get these.
oh gosh, please! I don't want to hear this.
And I always
Stop
get-
now! Stop now!
I always get the tzatziki.
And it's delicious.
It's amazing.
Well, hold on. When I was in Greece, my aunt taught me how to culture yogurt. So we culture the yogurt from scratch.
Yeah.
We take 4 gallons of milk, bring it up, scald it, bring it up.
Yeah.
Take some
It's
enzymes.
free
from-
knowledge here, folks.
Take some enzymes from the last batch of
Really?
cultured yogurt, add it in there, put it in the oven, and roll it overnight, 200 degrees, 225.
Again, if you're hearing this, this is like the love that goes into making tzatziki sauce.
I mean, it's
amazing.
killer.
It is
and so
delicious.
then
A little
we'll-
cold
right?
for my taste.
And then we'll once it comes out of the oven, we'll take it and pour it into cheesecloth, and we will strain it for 3 days, and that's what makes true yogurt. Can I have a quart container?
So this is this classically would be served with this, or you mentioned like your mom does it with tomato sauce, but is the tzatziki is that more of a-
Tomato sauce is the rustic, Koryo, the village way of the way that they do this. Again, this is our twist. But tzatziki goes with, you can lather on any meat. So
you would serve this
and
on
when
the side or on top? Or
I would dollop a little
was it
bit on
kind of
top.
like comes to room temp for me, so I'm cold. See, my thing with Tim that I give him, I hassle him all the time.
I was told not to use certain language, but it's about to fly. All right, and y'all can all thank Robbie Melvin
I think
for
it's
it, okay?
too cold, but it's still delicious. So I have to give him a hard time.
Well, I can't let yogurt come up to room temperature in the Jefferson County Health Department.
I'm
comes
saying
in
like
here.
a little bit less than like icy.
It's not ice. Go
cold.
put the damn stuff on the plate.
You go on the top, you go on
So
the side.
on the top. What I was going to say is that when you're done with those 4 gallons of milk,
I almost did it on the side just to get it going.
3 to 4 of these is what it will yield. But when it's done being strained, it will not come out. And the reason for that it needs to be strained of every bit of water possible is because of all the cucumbers that are put in there. We put the cucumbers in, we dice them up, we actually pulse them in a Cuisinart, and we strain them for 3 days because all the cucumber is water.
Right.
So,
and
and
it would
then
be just a runny mess.
and absolutely, and then fresh dill, which is why the yogurt has to be strained so long too. Because when you add those cucumbers, no matter how long you strain it, it's still gonna have water.
Yeah.
So,
Just
fresh
for the record,
dill,
I think
garlic.
better on the side.
Okay. Fresh dill, well, we put it on the side normally. And then you bitch about it because it's in a metal container.
Whoa. Okay.
So,
Right.
fresh dill, garlic, toasted black peppercorns, ground salt. Delicious.
It's delicious.
This is one of my
Now-
favorite things that we make here.
When you come here, how many different vegetable choices do you have on the day?
You can get 4 to 5 vegetables. How
just
many
to,
do we
to
have?
choose from. You know, that's my hardest
15,
thing. Is I come here and I'm like,
12, 15, depending on the season.
Right,
you know?
right.
We're not going to be serving candy stripe beets or things like that. So, sweet potato puree with cinnamon, maple butter, certain things. And in the fall, absolutely. The summertime is when we really shine with the okra, as my farmer calls it, the squash casserole, the fried green tomatoes. We core each one, we slice each one. These guys, thank God for them, hand bred every single one of them, and for having to put up with me. So
that's the most important thing.
Exactly. So
Now let's talk about this.
Okay, so this is the uncooked. Well, this is the cooked grit cake, but not cooked yet. This is the final product.
These are delicious stone ground grits.
Absolutely.
It would be amazing if they were in their creamy state.
Sure.
This is probably pretty amazing just as it is
Absolutely.
now.
Absolutely.
Now but this is, you fry this. Do you
Yes,
just-
seasoned flour, again, flash fried, 30, 45 seconds. Okay?
Beautiful.
What we do is we cook these grits down. We intentionally over-agitate the grits so the starch will come out so that they will bind like this and that they will hold.
Which is key, because if you were just to try
Cook
to
them to where you wanted them.
and then mold them, you've hit that hot oil.
Well, what we have to do is we cook them, we put them on a sheet pan, we let them set up overnight, and then we
Right,
come out and
right.
punch them with a ring mold.
So
You can do this with a lid of a Pam can. You can do this with a
mayonnaise top. or
Absolutely,
something.
sure.
Mayonnaise lid. And again, folks, we're here at Johnny's in Homewood, Alabama, with Chef Tim Hansis, talking about some amazing Southern food with a Greek twist. And one thing I think is so, while all this works, besides being just unbelievably delicious and well done, is that we've had many conversations, sitting down here in the dining room after service, about just the marriage of Southern food and Greek food, the food ways of these two incredibly different cultures as far as geography, I guess.
Sure, but there's a similarity of the geography.
There really is. Let's talk about that, because you mentioned this to me and it just blew me away. We have turnip greens here, which
You
is
talk about
classic as they
where,
come.
let's just begin with where Greece is. It's the lowest country in the Balkan Peninsula. Think about the south, the southeast. We're as far down in the United States as we can come. I don't count Florida, okay? So Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia. Think about in the Pueblo, in the village where our family is from, they farm. That's how they get everything. What do we do here in Alabama? We farm. Up front. So
I'm going to taste this.
and then again, so we have the village where our family's from in the northern Peloponnneso. Then if you go to a little city down called Leonidia, it's a port city, so they get all their seafood. So similar correlation
to the Gulf Coast, to the southern Gulf Coast,
absolutely.
and the vegetables coming from more inland area, the two meet somewhere in the middle,
And I think
to have
it's
these
really
amazing,
unique.
yeah, absolutely, these
And
amazing
how they
places
tie
like
together.
Johnny's. And like
And
Nick's.
plus, it's the hospitality and the camaraderie where, again, I believe as we said at the beginning, where people come together for food.
Yeah.
Greeks are very passionate people.
Really?
Southerners are very passionate
Greeks
people.
are passionate people?
Yes, they're.
Anyway,
Yes, yes.
This
So-
looks amazing. Again, if you're just tuning in, I hope you're not, because you missed some really great, just delicious food talk here about these
You
keftedes.
see how moist
Oh, yeah,
this
look at
is
that.
in the center?
With a fried okra from a local farm here in Alabama. Grit cake. These McEwen and Son grits?
Yes.
Which is also made here in Alabama, in the South. Turnip greens, all harvested here locally. All brought together on this very southern plate with this twist of a delicious, heavily spiced, Mediterranean spiced.
Don't forget the Greek key around the plate.
The Greek key around the plate. Oh, that's key, yeah. Yeah, that's really is.
Was that a pun?
Yeah, no, it was good. I like it. We're gonna try this. I know it's gonna be delicious. Tzatziki's not too cold. Oh my god. It's really amazing. Really amazing. Okay, thank you so much for checking us out today. Southern Living, Facebook Live,
Thanks to my kitchen staff.
Tim
for everything.
Hansis at Johnny's. We have the keftedes,
Keftedes. You still ain't gonna write the one over. There's no helping
Fried
you
okra.
Americanos.
fried okra, delicious Southern traditions with with a marriage of some great Greek traditions. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
for doing this.
Thank you. Adios.